Hey guys and gals, this is Sinagero taking a look at the patch 9.5 test server. I am actually currently at work, but the boss is out, everything's done, and I need to wait for the boss to come back and sign off on some stuff. So here I am on my laptop. This section will be on improved graphics, but when I get into the gameplay it will be on standard because I don't want to overheat my laptop. The new British tanks, I suppose. If we take a look at the tech tree, we've got an entirely brand new line starting from the M2 to the Stuart, the Grant, Sherman 3, Firefly, Challenger, Charioteer, Conway, and the FV4005. Another way you can get ahead a little bit or even try out some of the British tank destroyers much earlier on than the Challenger would be through the Valentine. That goes on to the Archer and the Achilles. These two are tank destroyers from the new line. The M2 and the Stuart, those are light tanks. The Grant and the Sherman 3 as well as the Firefly are considered medium tanks. So we'll start off with the Grant. Here it is in all its HD glory, and you will notice a striking resemblance to the M3 Lee. And you are correct. This is in fact an M3 Lee that they've modified. Here's the M3 Lee, and here's the Grant. It's got a slightly longer turret. I guess it's not really a turret because it's not in use. But this part of the tank is slightly longer. It doesn't have the machine gun for the commander anymore, so it's not as easy to hit as the M3 Lee, but it's still pretty easy because you won't be going up and over any hills or mounds, anything like that. Now it also receives this, the 75mm M3 cannon, the same as on the Lee. But if we take a look, it is exactly the same gun as on the Lee. The Grant, however, can get a slightly higher penetrating cannon, and that is the 6-pounder Mark III. And this is the one you will find on the Churchill 3 or the Churchill 1, but not fully upgraded. 105mm penetration, 75 damage, with a 26.09 round per minute rate of fire. So that is good. Unfortunately, you probably don't want to be hanging around shooting this thing a lot because the armor isn't that great. 50mm on the front, 38 on the side, 38 at the back, and it's pretty much a tank destroyer in the first place, but it's considered a medium tank. Next up we have the Sherman 3, and this thing looks exactly like a Sherman. It is a Sherman. However, this 76mm M1A1 is better than the regular Sherman's cannon. Here we go. It fires faster, same penetration, same damage, same accuracy and aim time. It's also much lighter. I'm not going to look too much into it. It's got the same hull and turret armor, stuff like that. I believe it's got the same turret armor. Yes, exactly the same. And now for the one most people have been waiting for, the Sherman Firefly. This thing looks like Sherman, but it looks actually pretty nice because of this cannon. And it's a 17-pounder Mark VII. Let's move this over here. 18.42 round per minute rate of fire, 171mm penetration, 150 damage, 0.4 accuracy, and 2.3 second aiming time. So this 17-pounder you will most likely be very familiar with because it is mounted on a number of British tanks. In fact, once we get to the Tier 7 tank destroyer, I'll talk about that a little bit more, but this is the Sherman Firefly. It looks great. It's got a little bit more armor on the turret. The hull armor is the same as the Sherman, both types of Shermans. And now we're back down to Tier 5. This is the Archer, put on a Valentine chassis. And this is a Tier 5 tank with a Tier 7 cannon, and that's also a 17-pounder Mark VII. A little bit better accuracy, of course, but there you go. This is a 17-pounder. You go up to the Tier 6 Achilles, which is the M10 Wolverine chassis with a 17-pounder cannon. And here's the stats on that. 1.9 second aim time, 0.33 accuracy. So that's pretty nice. And it's still okay for tier 6. Unfortunately, for the Challenger at tier 7, well, you're still stuck with that same 17-pounder cannon, and it doesn't really work well with the Black Prince, and that thing has armor. This one, well, this one's actually a little bit different. It doesn't have much hull armor. 88 millimeters on the front. Blah, blah. 88 millimeters on the front, 50 on the side, 30 at the back. The turret armor is 50 millimeters on the front, 40 millimeters on the side, and 200 millimeters at the back. This could be a mistake, or it could be entirely historical, and there was a lot of armor on the back of this tank. It actually kind of looks like it, because there's some sort of gigantic plate of steel mushed onto the back of this turret. So, maybe, although this top bit doesn't look very strong at all, we shall see. But 17-pounder cannon is, well, it's got pretty good stats. It's just that the penetration and damage don't seem to do that well at tier 7. And it's also a fast tank. Don't forget, these new British tank destroyers are very fast. And we'll just skip all the way ahead because most of them are the same. They look like this. They've got a medium tank chassis, big gigantic turret made of paper, and a large cannon. This is the tier 10, the FV4005, stage 2. And it has the 183mm cannon that the FV215B183 has. 3-second aim time, 0.38 accuracy with the same penetration and damage as the 183, 2.22 round per minute rate of fire. And let's compare that with the actual 183 cannon. Here we go. Well, the rate of fire is faster, and it is more accurate, and it doesn't take as long to aim, so it could be actually worth it to get this tank. It's also very fast. So let's get into not real games, because there are no real games on the test server. Everybody's just playing one of these tanks around, so I will show you some of the lower tiers and this tank as well. Sorry, tank destroyer. With a buddy of mine in a training room.
Let's go!
Alright, here we are taking a look at the Archer. Very slow moving forward. How about in reverse? A little bit faster. So here we go. Let's get across to the other side of the battlefield and see what we can do with this 17-pounder cannon. And you'll be seeing a lot of this 17-pounder cannon because most of the new tank destroyers, and in fact, the British heavy tanks actually use the 17-pounder cannon, so it doesn't feel that great actually, but maybe at tier 5 it'll be pretty good. Yeah, it turns pretty well though. How's the accuracy on this thing? Aim time, there's the aim time. That's not too bad. The rate of fire is kind of okay.
We didn't even scratch them. We didn't even scratch them.
I have to admit, you probably won't be facing any KV-5s, but still.
We've damaged them.
This is the only way you're going to be penetrating into tier 8s.
Ricochet.
Firing on the move at 300 meters, not a good idea. But you are slow enough. You might be able to actually... let's see. Pip 1 brings you to 3 to 4. Okay, interesting. So you're pretty much stationary right now. You can fire away and move really slowly. Yeah. Second pip brings you up to 6 kilometers per hour. That's still okay.
We didn't penetrate their armor. We didn't even scratch them.
And full speed isn't actually that impressive. How about the gun arc? That's not bad.
Enemy armor is damaged.
I'm not liking the alpha damage though.
Enemy armor is hit.
And it's gonna be the same for that Tier 7, the Challenger. So that's not much to look forward to. Okay, now we're on the Achilles. This is the M10 Wolverine chassis with a 17-pounder cannon mounted on top. So it's very much the same as an M10 Wolverine with a bigger cannon. Also one tier higher, so you will be seeing Tier 8 tanks. How's the view range on this thing though? IS-6. What is happening to that tank? Okay, so the accuracy... meh.
That one didn't go through.
308 meters.
Enemy is
Oh!
hit.
That's interesting, I didn't actually expect that one to go in.
We didn't even scratch them. Enemy armor is damaged.
I'm hitting the tracks, interesting.
That one didn't go through.
We shall check out the gun depression. It doesn't look that great. I suppose anything adding on larger cannon doesn't do well for that.
Let's locate another target.
We'll see how well it climbs, but being a tank destroyer, you probably won't be climbing in a hurry. Here we go. Gun depression. You can definitely see me at this point. And in fact, there's actually no... Okay. Can't hit this guy at all. Until...
Target acquired.
Yeah. Not much gun
Let's
depression.
locate another target. We didn't even scratch
Oh,
them.
that's interesting.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Go down. There.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Right.
Penetration.
So you won't be doing too much damage to Tier 8 tanks, especially one
We didn't
trollish armor
penetrate
like
their
an
armor.
IS-6.
We didn't even scratch them.
You'll definitely be spending a lot of money on the premium
Enemy armor
guns,
is damaged.
because this thing isn't exactly...
Enemy
Oh,
armor is hit.
no, there we go. I'm doing it.
We've damaged them.
That was weird. Maybe the first bounce was a fluke.
That one didn't go through.
Interesting.
We didn't even scratch them.
What's going on? What's wrong with this plate of armor right there?
Enemy armor is
That
damaged.
definitely goes through.
Enemy is hit.
Huh. Strange.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Turd. Okay, well, hatches are definitely weak points.
Enemy armor is hit. We've damaged them.
So, we'll have to compare this Achilles to the Firefly.
We didn't even scratch
Oh,
them.
what? Come on.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
That one shot you need to kill the tank, huh? There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, let's compare this to the Firefly.
Adam, lads.
Okay, here we go. So far, the Firefly seems similar to the Achilles, but the Turd is much faster at turning. It is also considered a medium tank. A better rate of fire on the cannon, and I'm pretty sure the accuracy is worse though. So we'll see how it fares. The same cannon with worse accuracy. Better rate of fire. This might be actually a little bit more versatile, even though the gun depression seems very similar to the Achilles. One problem you will have is that you have to play through the Grant to get to the Firefly, and you don't have to play through the Grant to get the Achilles. And it looks like the view range isn't as good either. Where is he? Ah, he's right here. Is this a different slope? Yeah, I'm probably in a different position.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Fire's much better though.
That one didn't go through.
Still no go on cheeks, huh?
Enemy armor is damaged. We've damaged them.
Okay, there's the gun depression. I am now shooting
Enemy armor
down,
is hit.
however, so we'll see how that works out for the lower plate.
We
Yeah,
didn't penetrate their armor.
I'm gonna need this guy to back up a little bit. Come on, there we go. That's good enough.
We didn't penetrate their armor. Didn't go through. We didn't even scratch them.
Hey, there we go, penetration.
We didn't penetrate their armor. We didn't even scratch them.
Very strange. I was doing pretty well on the
We didn't penetrate
Achilles.
their
Should be
armor.
exactly the same.
That one didn't go through.
Would definitely be wasting a lot more ammunition with the Firefly, though. Come on.
Penetrate their armor.
How is this not a penetration?
Enemy armor
That's
is
a penetration.
damaged. We didn't even scratch them. We didn't penetrate their armor. We didn't
Okay.
even scratch them. We didn't even scratch
Well,
them. That one didn't go
IS-6
through.
does have troll armor.
Penetration. Enemy is hit. Penetration.
That part of the cheek isn't as strong.
Damage them.
Neither is that, but from the front I suppose it is strong. Now, I'm concerned about this lower plate. Bouncing every shot but one.
We didn't
No, that's not
penetrate their
what it is.
armor.
Lower.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Interesting.
Enemy armor is damaged.
No, that one went through.
Enemy vehicle
That's interesting.
destroyed. Let's get this show on the
And
road.
here we have the Challenger, tier 7. Turret is slow moving, but the tank itself is pretty fast. Gets up the speed pretty well. Alright. That's not bad. We'll get into position very quickly. And let's see how the accuracy goes.
Enemy
That's
is
good.
hit.
There we go.
We didn't even scratch them.
Went exactly where I aimed it. That
We
didn't
didn't
go.
penetrate their armor. We didn't even scratch them. We didn't penetrate their armor. We didn't even scratch them. That one didn't go through. We didn't even scratch them.
Okay. Well, this could be a problem for the Challenger. It is tier 7, so it will meet a lot of tier 8 tanks. And in fact, it will also meet tier 9 tanks. And there could be a problem with that. You'll never get through any tier 9 tanks unless you start firing the premium rounds.
We dinged them. That one didn't
But
go
first, let's see what happens when an IS-6 shoots 200 millimeters of armor. Because this is kind of weird. Oh, it really does have... Wow, okay. The Challenger does have 200 millimeters of armor on the back of the turret, which is interesting. You might actually have to go over a hill like this and then turn your gun around, but it's actually quite slow, so that's not very appealing. Now, I did notice that it has pretty good gun depression over the side. Let's see what happens along the front. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Accurate. Sorry, not accuracy. Depression.
We've damaged them.
That's nice. So the Challenger starts getting the gun depression that you might think you would
We
like,
didn't penetrate their armor.
but it definitely doesn't get the gun.
Enemy is hit. We've damaged them. Permission to engage.
So let's see if this top bit is actually any armored at all. Nope.
Target unlocked.
Yeah, that'll be a weak point. Get into position to outflank people, though. That's good,
Enemy
right?
armor is damaged. We've damaged them.
Outmaneuvering them, maybe some heavy tanks, not a lot though.
We didn't penetrate their armor. Penetration. Enemy is hit.
Okay.
Enemy armor is hit. We didn't even scratch them.
Hurry up, let's finish this.
We didn't even scratch them.
That's what happens when I say let's finish this. Okay, here we go, here we go.
Enemy armor
Alright,
destroyed.
so Challenger is interesting, but I don't think it's going to be a great tank.
Let's go.
And now, finally, we've got the FV4005. The Tier 10 British tank destroyer with the turret and a 183mm cannon, and it doesn't look like it's got a fully traversable turret. It's also made of paper. So an HE shell from, let's say, an E100 or anything with large caliber cannons. Actually, let me rephrase that. An HE shell from anything that you will meet is going to be devastating if it hits you in the turret. And a 183 or another one of these things firing Hesh rounds will kill you in one shot a lot of times. 1850 health. And it does 1750 average damage, and that doesn't include any fires or ammo racks that will be hit in the process. So, before the Z100 totally destroys all of my modules, let's see what happens if I fire into the lower plate. So this isn't exactly a very good test, but bam! Okay, there we go. We know this would happen. Mobility is pretty good, and it definitely has better aim time than the 183. Let's see what this turret is made of. This E100 has loaded an HE shell, and that hurt. Where did he pen? Right there. Okay, okay. Let's see what happens if an E100 shoots me at the top of the turret. Right, okay. So 2 HE rounds from a 150mm cannon? Not good. And there's my glance at the 9.5 test server. Keep in mind, this is the test server, so things can still change. The stats, even the tanks can change. The premium tanks that I wanted to look at are not in the test server yet. And these are just my opinions. I didn't actually play any of these tanks in a 15-on-15 battle. And of course, when you do play it on the test server in a 15-on-15 battle, you'll find that there's going to be a lot of the FV4005s. These things here, it's pretty much a 14 of these versus 14 of that, and then one other some kind of tank that somebody else is testing out. And you'll be one-shotting each other left and right, and that's not really how a live game plays out. So I'm going to reserve judgment on these tanks until I get to play them on the live server, where it's a little bit more realistic about what you might expect. I probably won't be able to get up to the tier 10, but I will definitely try my best to get up to at least tier 6, because that Challenger, well, I don't know if I'll be able to get past there. So thanks for watching, please press that like button and leave some comments. I'll see you in future videos.